So hi, I'm Michael Freckers. I'm founder and chairman of Bluenote. Thanks for sticking around this afternoon in such large numbers. I think everyone here, regardless of the battle that's going on, is looking to solve large problems and large challenges through crypto and through blockchain. And what we are building at Bluenote is the blockchain solution that leads to a zero-emission world. In a nutshell, our vision is, it's a long vision, it's never that good, but this one actually is. The problem is that right now, the largest singular source of carbon emissions on the planet are buildings. And there's not really something being done structurally, even after all these great COP21, COP22, 23 summits. We have some presidential changes, and what's really happening in the world? Not that much to solve this issue. So what we are trying to get is solve this issue of combating the largest singular source of carbon emissions, and at the same time, we feel this represents an enormous financial opportunity as well. And there's nothing wrong saving the world through crypto and blockchain. The status quo is right now in this space that there are three large groups working not so much together, not against each other, but independently. You have utilities, energy companies that don't work well together within their silo because they don't share much, they don't compete. Usually they are locally generating in various countries. They're not good at sharing information and data. And this is why when you travel the world, you have different plugs everywhere. You look at buildings, traditional real estate owners, you could name a president, are not so famous for playing along well or sharing information well. They have a more competitive approach in nature. And if you look at investors, they have a fiduciary responsibility to make their investment decisions on the best possible information, yet they have very little insight into what actually creates the value of the real estate they're investing in, even though, as we all know, it's an enormous asset class on the planet. Then when you look at real estate basics, I'm far from a real estate guy, but so the basics, I think we all know when we start saving money, about 30%, 28% of operating budget of real estate owners goes to energy. Now with the typical cap rate around the planet at 10x, now in Zürich probably it's a little bit more, but basically the revenue of a building times 10 equals the value of the building. Probably here in Dubendorf it's a little more. If we go across the hill to Zürich, it's probably, I don't know, 20. But basically the revenue of your building times your cap rate equals the value. If you look at the asset value opportunity that we create, if we only reduce energy use of large commercial buildings by 30%, it actually creates an asset value opportunity of 6.5 trillion. It sounds like a crazy number, not a number we made up. If you look at the studies from Deutsche Bank and Rockefeller Foundation, you see that they did it just for the United States alone, and it goes into hundreds of billions, simply by reducing energy spent by 30%. Energy efficiency is the cheapest way to do this. Take the simplest example here. You take a light bulb, costs 55 bucks a year. You change it and retrofitting it, costs $5. The delta is 50 at a valuation, at a multiple of 10. This light bulb is worth the change to an LED, $500 in value to the building. Now this is something real estate owners can get behind, regardless if they believe in climate change. How is it that it hasn't been done before? Why doesn't anyone do this? It's not just the spaces are separate, they don't play well together, but it's also there's no method, there's no framework for sharing this data. So if you look at transportation, everybody who here uses Waze, the app. Basically Waze shares data all the time while you're using the app. Every corner you drive to, it's sharing and it's calculating the best possible route, the best pathway to get to your destination the fastest, and it's low on gas. So it saves time, saves gas by sharing data. Why hasn't it been done? Well, I said it a little bit. You look at GE or ABB or any of the other players in this space, what's really going on is they know the data of their own solutions. They actually don't know how the performance real time is of the other competitor solutions. Their energy efficiency, they don't know. They don't have the data from thousands of buildings. They just can't share even if they wanted to. So the Bluenote approach is thinking of the Waze analogy. What if you can get buildings to share, or at least allow access to the data they have in energy efficiency and share this with others? If you do that, just using 30% less energy is a direct financial result of saving 650 billion every year, but it also increases the value of the building by the amounts, again, that we get to, the 6.5 trillion. It also, of course, has a second effect of reducing carbon emissions an enormous amount, the largest and fastest way to get to these carbon emissions reductions. Now, we do this, we feel, best by using an open protocol, the Bluenote protocol. That's the solution. The protocol works in actually a very simple way. You don't need to install any new hardware or software. All you have to do is connect your current smart meters that you have, your building management systems. You allow access to others. You control the access for others to search and query your data, much in the same sense that when you do a Google search, you get search results, but you don't actually see all the data that has been scraped through by Google. You don't. You just get the results. The same way here, we all know, especially since Facebook last week and Cambridge Analytica, how important it is to keep your own data under control and manage it. Bluenote allows exactly for this. It allows verification in the blockchain through a distributed ledger. You can actually calculate the performance of every individual light bulb that's out there. And participants are rewarded, this will not surprise you, through tokens. Buying the token, you need to do to get access to other people's data, to do the queries. If you allow access to your data, you get rewarded in tokens. So you caught on, this is a utility token. This is a real token and it really works. Why is this crucial? Two of America's largest energy companies, the largest one in the US, we can't name names, but it's 65 million customers in 13 states on the East Coast, are using this right now to test and verify their building data. The second one is using it in South California in 150 commercial buildings. So this is something that we're doing right now, setting up these kind of partnerships. And we're doing this with a distributed team of crypto people from Switzerland. We're based in Zug. Energy people from the US and real estate people, and guys like me that came out of retirement after they retired at 25, selling their first IT company, because this is enormous, this opportunity for all of us. You can save the world through blockchain and make money, and there's no shame in that. Thank you.